All right, this is a video on how to simplify rational expressions. So I'm going to follow these directions. It says simplify, identify any restrictions. So we actually start by identifying the restrictions first. And we start doing that by working with the denominator. So, to identify the restrictions, the denominator must be factored. So, we're going to start with this one right here. I'm going to factor the denominator. I check it, it's a binomial. I check it for a greatest common factor. This is just x times x times x. This is 4 times x. So, x is my greatest common factor. So I'm going to pull out an x. If I pull that x out, that x cubed is now just an x squared. And this leaves me with a -4. Again, I recognize that this is the difference of two squares. So this can factor again. This becomes x plus 2 times x minus 2. Okay, if you don't understand how I got from here to here, then you need to go to YouTube and you need to Google factoring difference of two squares. Because we've done it many, many times this school year, and I'm sure that you can find a video to help you understand how to factor the difference of two squares. Okay, so the restrictions that we're going to do, and by the way, just ignore these right now. We'll come back and do these in a minute. They're in the way. I'm going to need all of this paper to work this problem. So to find out the restrictions for the denominator, we factor the denominator and then we set each one of the factors equal to 0. So this set equal to 0 is just going to be 0. This one set equal to 0 will solve for -2. This one set equal to 0, add 2 to both sides. You'll solve that one for 2. Now, this is where it gets interesting because what happens when you have 0 in the denominator of a fraction? Well, it's undefined. You can't divide something by 0. So each one of these numbers right here is the value of x that will cause our denominator to be undefined. So for every one of these places that we found the denominator to be 0, that's where our domain cannot go. So those are the restrictions. These will actually, in a later lesson, you'll find out that these turn into asymptotes. But right now, all you got to do is tell me that x values can't be 0 plus or minus 2. These are the restrictions. Okay, so you've got that taken care of. Now all you got to do is go back and factor the top. Now the top, this is one of those easy things to factor. You need factors of 36. The factors of 36 that are going to be, that'll give you a positive 36 are 1 and 36, 2 and what is that, 18, and 3 times, is it 12? Yeah, 3 times 12. 4 times 9. 6 times 6, and then it turns around and goes back. The next one would be 9 times 4, 12 times 3, 18 times 2. So those are all the factors of 36. So those are all the numbers that you multiply together to give you 36. But we're looking for the right combination that will also add to give me 20. And I believe it's going to be this second pair right here. So that means that this top part, I can go ahead and factor it over here, is going to be x plus 2 times x plus 18. Okay, x plus 2 times x plus 18 will give me x squared plus 20x equals 36. Now, this rational function will simplify because we've got a factor on top that matches with the factor on bottom. You remember, here's our magic word again, cancel. It's not really a word. What we mean is that they divide out to be 1. So we're left with x plus 18 on top and x times x minus 2 on bottom. Okay, so that's simplifying that one.